In this stage, we will be constructing it. So, like, you know what I'm doing. I'm building the rocket currently. I built the probe. Like, I did a ton of designing over that. You can see I'm going through different stages of building it. And I also have this cheesy music in the background, because, you know, all cheesy. So, I'm in the process of building it. Like, designing the probe, making sure it's going to function, and then adding different things. And, well, you can tell it took a long time, because this is at 4 times speed, so, you know, it took a while to actually make it. So what the probe's going to do is it's going to go up into, you know, orbit. I have electric engines on it, so it can just recharge with some... Oh, crap, I forgot the name. RTGs, aka just mini nuclear reactors that are gonna power it. Well, charge the batteries. And then here I have a ship that I didn't want, because I didn't want that one. I wanted to test my thing. So then I go, you know, go into the map, and I just recovered it, hoping it would fix it. So I go, I just put it on the runway straight away. So then I'm going here, and I'm doing that. Just waiting for it to load, and then I'm testing it, just to find out I put the engines on backwards. So don't fix that, because I'm just kind of, you know, heating up the batteries, maybe gonna make them explode or something. Then I got mad again because it won't stop doing that, so I decided to just blow it up. So then I just went and continued making that rocket, I think. I just deleted that, loaded my pod up. So this is the stage where I'm making the rocket. Just making sure it's stable. My cat is here questioning what I'm doing. So right now I'm trying different phases. I was gonna put a Saturn V rocket on the bottom, but I decided not to. So I'm currently going through redoing it. Or am I I think I'm redoing it. Yeah, I'm going and adding the stages so all the things go right. You know, so it doesn't fail. That's foreshadowing right there. Did have a couple of problems in launch, but I dealt with it, worked around it, because I didn't feel like doing this, because this is a hour clip reduced into 11 minutes. So this is just the process of me building it. This is where I rework it. I'm figuring out things that'll work, adding different stages and stuff, looking through the engine, seeing which could be the best for this situation that I'm doing right now. I just thought it'd be nice if you would like to see the building process of it. I even properly named it the USS McMuffin, because, you know, we just gave them McMuffin because that's their payment. You don't pay them. And here's me figuring out that they removed the engine that went on the bottom of this fuel tank. So I'm trying to find it. Spent like 10 minutes trying to find it. I don't even know why. I don't know why it's so choppy. I have it on smooth, so. I even had to I have a camera hooked up. I had to unplug my camera because I couldn't figure out how to do it. Still needed the software, so sorry if it's not great. But I am doing that. Just making sure it's all going to be stable and stuff. Adding different fuel stabilization to the rocket. Make sure it flies up straight. Adding aerodynamic. Adding stuff to make it look good. Now I'm just adding things that I don't think I've added. Yeah, I just added a flag on the side. Now I'm adding parachutes. Found out I added way too many. 4 would have been fine, because I didn't realize how big they were, because I forgot, because I haven't played this game in a while. Try to make the pond as compact as possible and able to re-enter, and it re-entered fabulously, as you'll see in a couple minutes as I finish staging and making sure it's not going to fall over. And then I remembered I blew up the launch pad accidentally, so I'm going to fix that. And I just select it in there, hoping it's the right one, because I have 2 craft under the same name. The first one didn't work. So then here I'm finishing the staging, and it's lifting off now. I'm just turning it so it faces the right way. And I'm having quite a bit of turbulence, or not being able to control it because it doesn't like to control well. And then I released the pods, and it blew off one of my fins, so I had to improvise on that, and the flight didn't go well from that. So now I'm struggling to control the rocket, but I still managed to get it into a somewhat decent orbit. Here I'm doing full throttle, and then realizing, oh yeah, I don't really have atmosphere to deal with, so I can do different things on the rocket. Now I'm just time warping, getting to the point, getting rid of that lower stage, getting the second stage to orbit. Now that first stage is going to fall back to Earth and hit the ocean. And then, you see, I made my orbit here, just adjusting it a little bit. Then I'm flipping it around to prepare for deorbit. See, I have my antenna. I was deploying the antenna so it could relay back to know if it needs repairs or anything. Usually, I wouldn't have this secondary stage, but I realized the electric engines aren't going to be powerful enough to deorbit the craft, so I sadly had to keep it on there, and also planned for it to land on the land. But that didn't work out as well, because my rocket decided it liked to become a frisbee and spin. Well, not really a frisbee, or a Beyblade. So I just got rid of that lower stage, and I decided to see if the electric engines could adjust my course. But, they don't have enough power. I was kind of disappointed in that, because I haven't really used electric engines. As you can see here, I'm deploying the heat shield and the air brakes to stabilize the craft, and I'm pointing it towards the direction it's falling so it doesn't burn in the atmosphere, because that's expensive. I'm just turning the engines on, trying to lose weight, because it doesn't really affect it much. Because I kind of thought the parachutes weren't going to give it enough drag to actually do the thing. Then I detached the pod, the heat shield, and as you can see, I'm struggling to get it off. It didn't want to come off, so I'm just waiting here hoped it would come off on the parachutes deploy because the very fast acceleration, and I was right, it did. It did indeed come off, that's for sure. So now we're just landing it in the ocean for recovery and reuse. So that's my craft. And that's it.